Welcome, everyone, both the panelists and our attendees. My name is Shane Davis Zimmerman, and I am the FYX co-director, and also I teach in the theology department. And we are doing this webinar to help people sort of understand both the academic and co-curricular opportunities that await you in just a few short months. I was going to say weeks, but maybe you don't really want to think about it. It could be weeks away. So we'll just go with a few short months, even though August is around the corner. What we're going to do tonight there's a lot of information coming at you. So I want to say this, throughout any point, use that Q&A function, right? Use the Q&A, ask all sorts of questions. While we are focusing on the academic and the co-curricular experience tonight, I did put some things at the end. I know everybody's kind of thinking about like housing and some other important dates. So I kind of stuck some stuff at the end that we'll just circle back to. But at any point in this webinar, please put something into the Q&A if something doesn't make sense. So as you all know, this is part of our very comprehensive first year experience for first year students, where we're basically going to walk with you the whole entire journey through your first year at St. Ben's and St. John's. We started back in the spring with some webinars and just trying to help you in this journey. We hope that the past couple of weeks and months have been fun. I mean, big milestones for you, finishing up high school, graduation parties. I don't know about anybody else, but they seem endless. But I mean, definitely lots of fun. And we're just getting excited for the next set of transitions that's coming your way. So we are going to be with you through that whole entire first year experience. In the fall semester, you're going to be enrolled in the College Success course. That's going to meet once a week for 55 minutes with both an instructor, that's either a faculty member or a professional staff. And you're also going to have a peer mentor in the class that is usually a junior or senior standing student that's going to walk with you in that journey as well, right? Here's what we have going on for you though this summer in terms of helping you stay connected and helping you understand things. Some of you might have heard me now say this like for the 10th time already since the spring, right? We are a campus community that uses email, and email has to become your friend, right? And so I actually want you to get in the habit sooner rather than later of starting to check it at least a couple times a week. As some of you probably already saw last week, a really important email went out from student employment, financial aid, and student accounts. And so more of those are going to start coming. And so first things first, start checking that St. Ben's, St. John's email account, right? Some big ones are coming, right? In terms of, I know Sharon's going to be able to talk here in a little bit about class schedules and all of that good stuff. The really cool thing we have going on, if you are an Instagram follower, love for you to follow CSB+SJU student orientation. It's one big long word, as you can see from the slide. Our fabulous orientation team made up of 4 orientation coordinators. They're all students. They have been so busy working right now, getting your orientation ready. They're led by our fearless leader, Jody Terhar, who will probably jump in and say something. That's all happening right now. Make sure you're following us on that Instagram page because those students are doing an awesome job just sending some fun reminders. The other piece that we have for you is these summer webinars, right? So we did one last week about financial aid, student accounts, student employment. We did a little bit of heads up about the class schedules that will be coming in late July. All that sort of stuff. We'll repeat some of that information for you. What we have coming up in July, both August 19th and August 2nd, those are some big webinars to really help you both prepare for your new home. So the July 19th one is kind of all about residential life and the $1 million questions that get put out there about residential life. So I'm going to really suggest you go to that one. And then the one we have on August 2nd is called like the final checklist. I mean, I don't think there's any final checklist, but it certainly gives you a really good sense of like, okay, you're about 3.5 weeks out before showing up at St. Ben's and St. John's. Here are some things that we want to be able to communicate with you. So we've got those summer resources for you, email, Instagram, and of course these webinars. Then the other thing that's going to start finally after the 4th of July and everybody sees fireworks and all that good stuff happens is the Beginning the Journey New Student Online Orientation course that we've been talking about all spring and into this early part of the summer. This is a free and online module for you. And what I love about it is this. It is using the same technology platform called Canvas that all of our instructors actually use in the classroom. So the really nice slick thing is this summer, when you're working your way through that orientation course that we ask you all to finish up before you actually arrive here on campus in late August, you'll actually get familiar with learning that technology platform and having experience with it. So just a little bit of a fun heads up that is coming next week, and you'll see that big launch. And you'll start working your way through the modules. Nothing too strenuous, really super helpful information that I'm going to suggest you share with those around you, family, friends that like need this kind of information in your world, right? So definitely don't go through the course alone. Talk about it with family members or those people that are important to you, helping you make this transition to St. Ben's and St. John's in late August, and we can help you with that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch more to the content of what's actually happening here. And I wanted to start off by, I was actually hoping that we would maybe have one of our 2 deans here, but everybody's schedules are kind of so crazy and busy. So I really want you to know that when we think about our academic experience at St. Ben's and St. John's, it's really framed around what you see as these 5 institutional learning goals, right? Think deeply, embrace difference, engage globally, serve graciously, and live courageously. And while I don't wear the hat of academic dean, I think all of us on this panel really can get behind these institutional learning goals. They're what motivate us both inside and outside the classroom. It sort of frames our whole entire approach to the liberal arts and how we want to actually learn at St. Ben's and St. John's. So I just wanted to start off by sharing those learning goals. This is what we hope both inside and outside of the classroom in those curricular and co-curricular experiences that you will learn how to do these 5 things and do them not only well, but like do them with your own stamp of approval, right? In the sense that you created your own opportunity. And that's some of what we're going to talk to you about tonight is all of the different ways you can create your curricular and co-curricular opportunity at St. Ben's and St. John's. So what do we have next? I am going to pass it over to our fearless leader of our integrations curriculum, Emily Berg-Pop. She's going to walk us through our general education program that we call the integrations curriculum. So without further ado, Emily, please take it over.
Right. Thanks, Carrie Shane. Can you all hear me? We're good? All right. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to meet all of you when you come to campus. Like Carrie Shane said, I'm Emily Berg-Pop. I'm a professor in the Communication and Gender Studies departments. And I'm also one of the faculty that is in charge of implementing what is a newer general education liberal arts program that we just instituted 3 years ago here at CSB+SJU. So as you come to campus, you're actually going to still have students who are seniors that are following an old curriculum, and you'll be with a new cohort that is adventuring into a redesigned approach to general education. So I'm just going to quickly sort of try to simplistically go over things, but please feel free to reach out to me. Come find me on campus. I'm on the 3rd floor of the quad. At St. John's. If you ever have any questions, or if you have any friends that have any questions, I'm happy to go through all of this with anyone. But to sort of generally just sort of frame how we consider the general education program here at CSB+SJU, it really is structured around getting you the skills and teaching you the academic approaches that you might need as you leave CSB+SJU. I know you're all thinking about coming, but we also are thinking about the future, and we're thinking about what you need to go on the job market, what you need for graduate school, what you might want, skills you might want in volunteering, whatever it is you decide to do after graduation, is how we've structured our curriculum. And so I know you've all chosen a liberal arts school for college, which is excellent, but the way we think about our curriculum is really based around some of these key things about why you might be choosing to study the liberal arts. Things like making sure you can explore and take courses in different areas and different departments, so you really get a broad base of knowledge from lots of different perspectives. That's going to serve you well in a job, whatever it is you choose to do after. To develop those really key intellectual and creative and communication skills are, as Carrie Shane mentioned on the previous slide, we have some overarching institutional learning goals, but we also have some specific learning goals that we have for our students, things like writing and speaking and collaboration, working in groups, working toward the common good, things like that, that we structure our curriculum around to really get you those skills too. And also then nurture a lifelong love of learning. Our goal is that you should like your classes, you should enjoy your professors, you should want to take more, you should like asking questions and like learning. And to foster the ability to make connections and integrate knowledge and skills across different areas. So what our curriculum is structured around is sort of 4 key areas, and I'm just going to go through these really quickly. And they all are meant to set you up to get all of those skills and values that I just discussed. So if we go to the next slide, the first area, and this is sort of the most liberal artsy part of our general education curriculum, is what we group around sort of this idea of connected learning. What you're going to do is you're going to take a course in 5 different areas. Now, you might have friends that are going to other liberal arts schools, or actually any school has a general education program, who are taking things in like the humanities or the natural sciences or the social sciences or math, things like that. Our new curriculum is similar. Our areas are similar to that, but it's actually a bit more broad, it's a bit more creative, and it allows you to approach it in a slightly different way. So these 5 different, what we call ways of thinking, are essentially that. They're the components of the liberal arts. So when you see the term abstract structures, what we mean is, this is our math requirement, kind of, but it's about a mathematical way of thinking. And the cool thing about this is, for example, abstract structures courses, there are a ton of really great math courses that you can take that would satisfy that requirement. But if you're just really not a math person and you're thinking, oh, I really don't want to do math, to satisfy abstract structures, to learn that sort of mathematical way of thinking, you can also take courses in logic, in philosophy, in music theory, in linguistics, all sorts of other classes that teach you the skills, but from a perspective that hopefully will interest you and help you in your program. Artistic expression is our fine arts area. We have lots of really great arts programs in theater and art and music. You can also take artistic expression classes in English, in filmmaking, in creative writing, all sorts of really great ways to do that. Our human experience part is our humanities part. This one, you probably have the most choices. We have the most classes in the human experience across departments. Just to learn about humans, how humans interact with the world and analyzing text. You'll need to take one course in the natural world. Most of those courses are in the natural sciences department, but we also have great departments in environmental studies and nutrition and all sorts of really fascinating ways to approach that. And then the social world is our more social sciencey courses, so economics or political science, things like that. You'll take one class in each of those. And the way that what makes our curriculum fun and unique is that you also will, throughout your experience, whether it's in a class that already has a way of thinking or in a class in your major, we also ask you to take classes structured around a particular theme. And right now we have 3 themes: justice, movement, and truth. And the idea is that, take justice, for example, you'll take a class that looks at justice related issues, maybe in history, maybe in biology and theater. And then at the toward the end of your college career, you're going to be asked in a capstone course to sort of make connections across all of those, to figure out how we approach issues and thought processes, but from a liberal arts perspective, from multiple perspectives. So that's sort of the core of a lot of those academic classes. But then we have a couple of other areas that also help you build these skills. So Carrie Shane mentioned that you'll take in your fall semester a 1-credit class called College Success Integrations 105 that really will help orient you to the community and to the campus. And then also in your first year, you're going to take a class called Learning Foundations, which is a class that is really geared toward first years, that is meant to help you especially build your writing skills, but also skills like group work and other sorts of things like that. That starts your academic career at CSB+SJU. And then the ladders show you that you end your career in a capstone course. So you'll take this probably your senior year, called Learning Integrations, which is an advanced writing course and is where you'll hopefully make all of those connections from all of the courses that you've taken. And then you'll also take a class that has a flag that's designated quantitative reasoning, so that you can really get some of those numerical skills too. So we've got the liberal artsy part and the writing part. The other part of attending a liberal arts school, especially a Catholic school, right, involves some other elements too. So you'll take language, if you haven't, and you'll take placement tests to determine what level of language you might need to take or might want to take. You can also start a fresh language, start one new. You'll take theology classes. So you'll take a theological explorations class during one of your first 3 semesters, and then you'll take an upper level theological integrations class. And then this is, I think, my favorite, what I think is one of the most unique parts of our curriculum is you'll take 2 classes that are designated cultural and social difference. You'll take the first one your first year. So at some point in the fall or spring, you're going to take a class that's designated as cultural and social difference identity, which is meant to help you sort of make sense of your gendered and racial identities and how they interact with society. And then you'll take another one at some point in your career, or if you go abroad, this is one that you can take with your abroad seminar called Cultural and Social Difference Systems Courses, which analyze really how gender and race and other identities are shaped by cultural systems of power. And those are across departments in lots of different areas, and are really some of our really unique and special courses. And then, so one more slide. Along the way, so those are sort of the courses, right? You've got the liberal arts, you've got the theology, language, and cultural social difference, and you've got writing. Along the way, you're going to take courses that have additional what we call engagements on them. And this is actually a really key part of our academic experience at CSB+SJU, because one of the things we really pride ourselves on is the direct experience and engagement that we encourage our students to get. The 3 that you see across here, experiential engagement, artistic engagement, and global engagement, are all meant to actually get you out of the classroom and engaged in these types of things, whether it's in our campus community or our local community or even our global community. So experiential engagement, for example, you might get by doing an internship. You also might get by doing a capstone course in your major where you're doing a research presentation or you're engaged in some sort of research over the summer. We have a ton of cool, great student research opportunities over the summer, and things like that. Artistic engagement is actually getting you out into the community and watching plays or going to performances or going to art shows. And the global engagement is a chance for you to actually interact with the international community. So our study abroad program, I know you're going to hear about that, is a really large and cool part of CSB+SJU that satisfies 2 of those, and also the cultural and social difference systems class. But those are all really great opportunities to get out of the classroom and get that experience. So I'll wrap up with this. There's one more slide. What you'll do then across your 4 years is you'll take all these different elements. You can space them out. You might take them all in your first couple of years. You might get some of them as you travel through your 4 years. Most of the classes that you can take in the gen ed curriculum also can count toward a major or a minor. And so you can also double up and sort of really explore that way. But what you'll also get to do is you get to create something we call the integrated portfolio, where each class that you take in the gen ed program, you actually are going to put an artifact, put a speech you give, put a paper you write, put an art project that you put together, put a film that you put together. We do podcasts. I do podcasts with my students a lot. Podcast episode. You put them all in this portfolio, and what it gets you allows you to do is not only see how much you've grown and how much you've learned over the 4 years, but it also gives you something that's portable that you can take with you on job interviews. So if you go, let's say I'm a comm professor, right? So let's say you go to interview for an advertising job, you've got a portfolio of your creative work ready to show future employers or to show graduate schools that is put together with all sort of your best academic work that you've done over your 4 years. So it's a new curriculum. It's kind of a confusing curriculum as we're trying to transition away from our old one. I think it's an exciting one. So if you have any questions or if you need any further guidance, I know academic advising, I work closely with them a lot. They're great. But you can also ask your faculty advisor, your Integrations 105 instructors. We're all here to sort of help you navigate how to plan and make the most of your time. So thanks. Let me know if you have questions.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Emily. So just remember, any questions that you might have about what she said, go ahead and put it in the chat. And we also want to say, like, we're just trying to give you an overview. You don't need to know all this stuff right now, because actually a second person that knows all the stuff you already need to know is Sharon Wenner. So Sharon, why don't you give us an update about class schedules and all that good stuff?
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sharon Wenner, and I'm the Associate Director of Academic Advising here on campus. And so, as Carrie Shane stated, we are busy making your fall semester schedules as well, not right now, but during the days we are. And we are hoping that they will be done no later. Our deadline is the end of July. We're hoping to have them done before, but that all really kind of depends on when we get the official AP scores from College Board, and that's kind of out of our control. So hopefully the sooner we get those, then the sooner we'll be able to finalize schedules. But make sure that you are checking your CSB+SJU emails for an email from us, and that will be when they are finalized and how to access your schedule. All right. So if you do have any questions when that comes out, do not hesitate to contact our office at either academic advising email or calling our office. Any changes to your schedule will have to be facilitated through our office. So you will have to contact one of the advisors in our office. You will not be able to make changes yourself. All right. And then if you have any questions about your AP scores, AP credit, any of the IB, PSEO, CIS credits that you have, contact us. If you have not done so already, make sure that your AP scores from College Board get sent to us, the CSB+SJU, the school codes. Or if you took PSEO and CIS courses, make sure that you requested official copies of those transcripts from the institution, the college or community college that you earned those credits through. We have to get an official copy of your transcript directly from those institutions in order for us to accept those credits. We can't get it from your high school transcript. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you request a final official college transcript from those schools to be sent to the registrar's office. More information can be found about that on the registrar's office webpage about transfer credits. So you can certainly, look for more information or contact us if you have questions about that. All right.
Awesome. Thanks so
you have
much.
Questions about placement exams? If anyone has questions about the language placement exam, I know that always can be kind of a confusing point of topic. But if you have to take, all students have to take a global language through the intermediate 1 level, and that's the 3rd semester of a college level language. So if you have not earned that through CIS or PSEO credits, when you were in high school, you will have to take a college level language. So make sure if you haven't done so, take the placement exam. For most students take Spanish. So you can find those placement exams on our website, and you certainly can, make sure you take those so that we know where you're best suited to start for the fall semester.
Yeah,
okay,
we have a great
here.
question. Yeah, can you see the question from Zuri, Sharon? Yep.
Yeah, let me just read it. Okay, so she said, should we send the AP scores we have now right away, or wait until July for new AP scores and send them all at once? You can certainly send them all at once, because we'll be getting them. Then you don't have to request 2 scores, because you'll probably have to pay to have the scores requested. So just wait until they come out, and hopefully they're usually around the 4th of July. So hopefully when you see your official scores that have been submitted, when you get your College Board report, then request that all of the scores be sent to our institutions.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Sharon. And, it might look like I'm praising all of these panelists. I am, because they are amazing and you're starting to see that, I think. But one of the things I want to really stress again to everyone is that the way that we create your class schedules, the way Sharon's office does that, is really unique, really special. You might be seeing your friends going off to summer orientation programs in person. We do things a little bit differently, right? We've got this webinar series, we've got the Beginning the Journey series. You fill out forms and we're gonna really walk you through those steps, right? And so right now, as you enter, your class schedules are made for you, and they're made for you for a reason, because you don't know the whole entire full picture. But when you get into the college success course in the fall, between your college success course instructor, your first year faculty advisor, the people in academic advising like Sharon, right? All of those people are going to come together and really help you then choose your classes for the spring semester. So we just give you a little bit more of a cushion in terms of helping you get your feet wet and learning the integrations curriculum and just getting some information under your belt, so that when you go to pick your classes in the spring, you can really make a well-informed decision along with all the advisors that are near you. Okay, the second piece to, I think, this whole academic advising component and student success component is Tom Sagerhorn, who directs our Student Accessibility Services office. So Tom, why don't you take it away?
Hello, everyone, and welcome. I already see a couple of names that our team has had an opportunity to meet as we meet with incoming students over the summer. So our office in Student Accessibility Services, we provide accommodation, support, and resources to individuals who have previously had IEPs or individualized education plans or 504 plans. Anyone who has a condition that impacts a major life function, or students that encounter barriers in the academic or living environment that might need to be mitigated by some thoughtful accommodations within our office. Many of the common conditions that we see are located here, whether it be ADD and ADHD, dyslexia, mental health conditions. However, we see a lot of unique diagnoses and conditions. So a lot of the students that we have worked with have not traditionally received accommodations in their K-12 experience. But if you have any questions, please reach out to us. What is really wonderful is right now we served, by the end of the last academic year, more than 500 students on both of our campuses. What we really would love to do, if given the chance, and now because of Zoom, we are really doing our best to meet with students throughout the course of the summer, either in person or Zoom. So if you'd like to set up a time to meet with us, please give us a call. Our number's at the bottom of the page, but I'll just throw it out there right now. It's 320-363-5245. Or you can email us. Our acronym for email is SAS, for Student Accessibility Services, at CSB+SJU.edu. Any questions you have, please feel free to reach out. We'd love to connect and partner with you. There are also a lot of changes between high school and college. And so that is really helpful for us to have that conversation sooner rather than later.
Okay, awesome. And I also just put in the chat right now that, like, besides helping students, I really want you to know that Tom and his office also really help faculty and professional staff understand how they can help students. So, I mean, all faculty and professional staff have access to Tom's office, and I think that's a huge piece. It's not just Tom in his office working with just the students, it's Tom working with, well, really the whole entire college and campus community, right, Tom? Okay, so another piece to the Student Success Network is something we're all super excited for. I'm going to pass it over to Teresa Anderson.
Hi, everyone. I'm really glad to welcome you this evening. I'm here as director of the Tom Thole Study Center, or the Study, as we'll call it, which is a new resource for students on campus. At a lot of institutions, you might see this referred to as an academic skills center, but really I see it as an ambition center. You all are ready for college, but you'll also be in a mindset of developing new skills. As Emily Berg-Pop said, we're thinking about what you need coming in this fall, as well as what you're going to need going out in 4 years as you start to take on more professional roles. In last fall, we surveyed the incoming students and asked them what some of their main academic concerns were. So in terms of getting ready to do well and meet their goals academically. And really consistently, the top 3 were time management, study skills, I apologize for the doorbell, and test preparation. And I think study skills and test prep really are the same thing. The better your study skills, the better prepared you are for exams. So the study will offer web-based, Canvas-based, and in-person based resources and workshops to help you build those skills all along. And all you need to do is take advantage of them. I'm going to post some things you can do this summer to practice, especially time management and study. Just practice creating a schedule for yourself, setting goals for yourself, and maybe share those and hold yourself accountable for following your plan. You can practice the study piece by just reading or listening to information and try and engage your brain as you do so. Think about, what is it I'm hearing? So what does it mean? And then what now? What might I do with that information? If you can really be training those muscles, you'll definitely have an advantage when things start in fall semester. The last thing I want to say goes back to something Carrie Shane said. It's a shameless plug. She said that you're getting email from Student Employment. We are hiring in the study, so take a look at the peer academic coaching positions and consider that not only as a way to exercise the skills you already possess, but really to continue building those. So as you go through your first year, your second year, your third year, you're really at the top of your game. There's good support there for you. And we're thinking about as an ambition-based resource that everybody will be building those skills, right? Adapting to the new semester, beginning to thrive and build greater confidence, and then really excelling and knowing at graduation that you have a strong set of professional skills that all come from the academic skills you've worked on throughout the 4 years. So can you tell I'm excited for you, and I'm excited for us in having this new resource, and enjoy the rest of your summer.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Teresa. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to focus on 2 really excellent programs, both our Honor Scholars for Community and Collaborative Research, and then we're going to hand it over to Manny. So Beth, are things working? Okay.
They are working right now, but if not, I know you can take over for me if I drop out. So anyway, hello, welcome everyone. I'm excited to be here and looking forward to meeting you in person in late August. My name is Beth Wengler. I'm a professor of history and the director of Honor Scholars for Community and Collaborative Leadership. And I'm going to start by telling you what collegiate honors programs and honor scholars in particular is not. It is not like high school honors. In high school, you take a course here and there. One isn't necessarily connected to another. Honors courses tended to be test oriented. And in high school, the focus is really on individual achievement. And while those who complete the Honor Scholars program will graduate with the distinction of all college honors, that is not the reason you should participate. So what is this? Honor Scholars is 5 interconnected courses that will all fulfill IC requirements, so they're not extra. Honor Scholars is a learning community for students in all academic majors. Classes are small, they promote social interaction, trust, collaboration, and concern for the common good. And that gets expressed through experiential learning projects that are part of our courses. These are real world projects that you do in collaboration with each other and in community partners. And you get to get some experience applying your academic learning to the world outside of the classroom and using those liberal arts skills like communication, critical thinking, teamwork, and the leadership skills that are also part of the Honor Scholars curriculum. You get to use these in projects, in community projects that seek to promote positive social change. And this is all part of the coursework itself. That's a super brief overview because I don't really want to take up a lot of your time tonight. And I would like for you certainly to ask questions in the chat. You'll get some more of that nitty gritty information at our Welcome Back Barbecue on September 1st for all the Honor Scholars. And just a note that some of you will notice that you're already enrolled in the first year Honor Scholars course, Honors 120, for the fall. But if you're not, no worries, you'll take it in the spring. You'll take one of our spring sections. But if you're listening in tonight and you're not already in Honor Scholars, and this sounds interesting to you, feel free to reach out to me. We're going to open applications in September for the limited spots that remain. You know, so it's not something that if you did not miss the boat, you can jump on the boat later on, you know, once you've already started the fall semester. So anyway, thanks for listening and for being here tonight, and I look forward to meeting you.
Awesome, thanks so much. Beth is joining us from her family in New Jersey. So I am going to, Beth, really say, feel free to go back to family and taking care of things. And we've got the Q&A. So thanks for really taking the time tonight. I appreciate it. Okay, let's hand it over to Manny Campos, our fearless pre-professional health program leader. And that is a mouthful, Manny, to say pre-professional health. But go ahead.
Thank you. Again, thank you for joining us tonight. And I appreciate, you know, we all appreciate you taking the time to do this. The reason I'm here is to give you a brief overview to any of you who are interested in studying, you know, health areas about our programs. My name is Manny. I teach in the biology department, and I also coordinate our programming. We students have various interests in health, and as such, we have specialty area advisors in a number of these areas, everything extending from athletic training to medicine to physician assistant pharmacy, as you can see here in this slide. And these are advisors that are faculty, most of them, and they're specifically interested and focus on the idiosyncrasies of a specific area of health, and they work with students in that area. So our goal is to really provide some student-centered individual advising where we work with you, and we work very closely also with Sharon, for example, in academic advising, to put together these tentative four-year plans. And I say tentative because they'll change all the time every semester. But these plans that allow you to kind of pursue your professional interests while at the same time, you know, also, you know, pursuing a major or a minor or something in those areas. So we literally meet with you every semester and work through changes to these plans as your interests change. And these plans include, obviously, coursework that are required for these areas, natural sciences, humanities, social sciences, and so forth. But I also want to call your attention to the fact that besides these courses that are typical prerequisite courses for all those areas, we have some really interesting and unique courses that wouldn't necessarily be prerequisites, but they're going to make you kind of a better global applicant when you apply to these graduate programs. These are classes everywhere from sociology, nutrition, exercise and health science, biology. And I've listed here, I'm not going to go over every single one. Some of them in creative writing, you know, that has a clinical focus. These are the types of courses that we talk to you about when we have our advising meetings and talk about the possibility of you pursuing some of these classes. Now, you should also know that when you apply to these graduate programs, there's a curricular component, right? You need to have the prereqs and the necessary courses, but you need to now have a number of experiences that are completely co-curricular. You need to have some shadowing experiences. You need to have clinical experiences and so forth. And we are very focused also on creating these, helping you achieve these opportunities. We have a number of programs that involve our students in clinical settings, a student health assistant program. There's a number of programs in a local HMO, which is center care. We have an EMT program on campus at St. John's. And then there's all these research opportunities that you can also pursue, undergraduate research opportunities. And there's an office specifically devoted to that. So we basically look beyond just the curricular side to also allow you to become a well-rounded applicant with these co-curricular experiences. And, you know, we also have a number of minors that are really neat that you can pursue, again, to give you a more global perspective on health. And I've listed them there. I encourage you to touch base with any of our specialty area advisors as soon as you come into campus, or also especially with academic advising too. They can also guide you towards us. So have a good summer, and we look forward to seeing you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Manny. You just do stellar work for this pre-professional health program. It's really appreciated. Okay. So we talked a little bit about the curricular experience, our integrations curriculum, academic advising, there to help and support you, accessibility services there to help and support you. Teresa's no longer with us, but the study is there also to support you. But as Manny sort of stressed, you also have experiences and a life outside the direct classroom. And so I'm going to actually turn it over to Sabrina Gilchrist, who's going to talk about this amazing place that we call the Experience Hub that is really 4 programs and 1. And so you see this cute little design here. I'm going to hand it over and have her start out with first XPD. Go ahead, Sabs. Thanks.
Thank you. So as Carrie Shane was saying here, the Experience Hub is this coming together of 4 departments that, in addition to the incredible resources you've been hearing about tonight already, are here to support your learning as you are continuing to evolve, like who you are and what you want to explore and experience inside and outside of the classroom. Our first area is what we call around campus XPD, which stands for Experience and Professional Development. And we are here to help support you in your career development. We offer experience-based programmings and internship opportunities. We help you connect to community engaged learning resources. We're helping you get in the muck and kind of go like, what do I want to experience out in the world? Who am I? You know, what am I going to be when I grow up? And then get to change the answer like 20 times. And that's a really fabulous part of liberal arts education. We also use tools like Handshake, which you will hear a lot about as you get integrated into CSB+SJU, which is where you can connect with our employers and postings, job fairs. We have an incredible team of peer-to-peer resources where you can come in and meet with one of our student career ambassadors to work on your resume, to work on interview skills. You can do practice interviews and continue to build up those skills. A great example is if you are interested in study abroad programming, which is also in the Experience Hub. So you can go to the next.
Yep.
You're doing good. So if you're interested in study abroad programming, you can come to the Hub and practice your study abroad interview, get your resume ready for that study abroad application, and connect with our team through the Center of Global Education about study abroad opportunities, financing those, and that entire experience. Study abroad is a big part of Benny and Johnny culture here. We have 15 semester-long programs where you get to stay in a country connected to a school for the semester, engage in learning abroad. We also have short-term embedded summer and global fellowship programs that can be really great for a number of reasons, but especially for folks that are maybe in some of those health-related fields. Where leaving for a full semester is not working with your academic plan. You get to have those incredible experience by taking a course during a semester here at CSB+SJU and then doing a short-term embedded study abroad experience. And also while you're at the Hub, we can help connect you to undergraduate research opportunities, which may include while you're abroad. It may include while you're in an internship that you connected through to XPD, may include with some of the programmings that you were just hearing about in our health research areas. We are here to help you with undergraduate research, competitive fellowships, and this new program that we're launching this year as you are getting brought into our community here, Pathways to Distinction, which includes intentional engagement planning to help continue to develop you as researchers here at CSB+SJU and beyond. And then our fourth piece of the hub, this is our Fleischhacker Center for Ethical Leadership and Action. And this is a program for Bennies that helps support ethical women leaders in a variety of fields. We have scholarship programs that are linked through this and fellowship opportunities. We also can support some of those scholarships for Bennies and Johnnies through our Summer Leadership Fellows program that is a great collaboration with the Experience Hub, the Mccarthy Center, who you'll hear about later, and some other wonderful connections. That was a lot to say, but it's an inclusion of we are here to help you experience and explore. We encourage you during your first year and beyond that to just come to the hub and start engaging and learning. Our peers are here to help you. We have wonderful ambassadors that are going to sit down with you and help you connect to different opportunities. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out. And I look forward to connecting with you all more as you come into our community.
Awesome. Thanks, Sabs.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate it. Okay. And whoops, I went too far. Going to say a few words. I'm going to pretend that I am from the McCarthy Center for Public Policy and Civic Engagement. I'm really not, but again, just a busy time of year, but really wanted you to see that another fun, interesting area that we have is this McCarthy Center, led by Dr. Matt Lindstrom and Victoria Evans, our new assistant director for the place, really talking about student-centered events. They do TED Talk Tuesdays, Politics and a Pint, study tours. I mean, of course, they're bringing very well-renowned speakers to campus for their speaker series, but I mean, a lot of stuff in terms of resources and funding for students, such as the Summer Leadership Fellows, the John Brandel Scholars, the John E. Robson Scholarship. So lots of funding also here for projects, research, conferences, all of that stuff in terms of civic engagement. I think they're really well known too for their Washington, D.C., partnering with their Washington, D.C. program. And I think the really cool thing that they are also participating in lately is the Native American Restoration Justice Project. So again, just another example of just so many opportunities taking that classroom experience that we want you to have and applying it to research, internships, experiences, right? And then I'm going to pass it over to there it is. There we go. Wow, sorry. I'm too excited. Hold on. There we go. I couldn't see Donald Mcneely anymore. So here you go. Donald Mcneely, Center for Entrepreneurship. Paul, I'm going to stop talking and let you talk.
Okay. Wow. So much stuff coming at all of you tonight. And it just, I could reinforce so many of the things. One of them that I just would, before I get to talking about the Entrepreneurship Center, is what Sabs Gilchrist was talking about, the study abroad. If I had one piece of advice for all of you, think really hard about trying to make that study abroad thing work. It gets you out of your comfort zone. That's where the learning happens. And that's what we stress at the Center for Entrepreneurship too. So let's talk entrepreneurship for a little bit. I'm Paul Marsnick. I'm the director of the Donald Mcneely Center for Entrepreneurship. If this were an interactive session, I'd have a show of hands. How many of you know what entrepreneurship is? And then I'd ask you, and most of you really wouldn't know, and that's okay. We see entrepreneurship as seeing opportunities and making things happen. Can you hear me okay, Carrie Shane?
Yeah.
Seeing opportunities, making things happen. So it doesn't matter what your major is. We have students working with the Mcneely Center from majors all across campus. And they're people that have a little bit of an entrepreneurial mindset, people who want to make a difference. And so I'm just going to talk about two things for you to think about as you get started at St. Ben's and St. John's. Two things through the Mcneely Center. One is the E-Scholars program. E is for entrepreneurship, open to all majors. It's selective. So we pick about 12 students every year. They come from all different majors, and they're expected to launch a venture of some kind before they graduate. Now that seems like a tall order. In fact, when I started this program 18 years ago, people said to me, Paul, you can't expect undergraduate students to launch a venture while they're in college. You know, it just isn't going to work. And I said, well, you just watch. And we've had over 50 successful ventures launched by students since we started the program 18 years ago. So no matter what your major is, if you become an e-scholar, you take 3 courses. It's kind of like a mini minor, 3 courses over 2 years. And you learn things about how to see opportunities and how to brainstorm and how to overcome obstacles. And we'll push you out of your comfort zone, and we'll travel to places like China and Silicon Valley. And you'll have to set up meetings with people in strange places, and you'll become more confident, and you'll probably launch a venture. So that's one option, is become an e-scholar. You need to start thinking about that in your first, or for sure your second year, because you apply as a sophomore and then you do the program in your junior and senior year. The other path besides e-scholars is to take, you can see in the very middle of this slide with many, many words on it, ENTR course information. The other path is a little less intense, is just take entrepreneurship courses, ENTR courses. And we've designed a curriculum that has a whole bunch of 2-credit courses that you can take. And 2 credits works nice, because you could be taking a full load of 4-credit courses to fulfill your major, to fulfill integrations curriculum, all the things that you need to do. And you can almost always squeeze in 1 more 2-credit course. And so that might be ones like you can see there: a course on financial concepts for entrepreneurs, a course on storytelling taught by one of our comm professors, Dana Drazenovich, a course on improvisation taught by a theater professor, Karen Johnson, a course on tech changes the world taught by a history professor, or a straight up course on entrepreneurship. So that, I'll just leave it at that. You may be an entrepreneurial thinker and not even be aware of it. So make your way to the Donald Mcneely Center for Entrepreneurship. It's on the 3rd floor of Simons Hall, and you're probably not that familiar with campus yet, but it's at St. John's, sort of between the quad where the dining facility is there, the Reef. Between the Reef and Sexton is a little building called Simons Hall. So come on up to the 3rd floor. You'll see the center up there. Across the hall, you'll see the hatch where students will be whiteboarding things and drinking coffee and talking about ideas and things like that. It's a high energy, fun place to be. And by all means, stop in. My office is up there, and say hi, and we can talk about ideas.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Paul, this is such a great opportunity. Our students have been amazing. Okay, I'm going to kind of spend the next 2 minutes just kind of wrapping things up and just putting a few important reminders in front of you, right? Don't be overwhelmed by this slide that's in front of you. I just kind of wanted you to see, like, you know, we're kind of going to go on a little bit of a vacation the next couple of days here around July 4th, right? But July 15th and July 31st are some big dates for us that are coming, right? July 15th, international students really get some special attention in terms of like helping their information and their forms get finished up. And so international students need to pay attention to information that's being sent to them and the due dates associated with July 15th. And all of this would be in the forms portal, right? You know, a little bit of a Debbie Downer point is that by July 15th, the fall semester billing is emailed out. But again, you know, if you have questions about that financial aid, that student employment, student accounts, I want you to go back to the FYX website, go to the main page of our of CSB+SJU, find first year experience, and you can actually go back and look at the webinar we had last week that talked about student employment, financial aid, student accounts. Bottom line is you're going to get a human person on that phone when you pick up the phone and call, or you send an email, right? And so you've got questions about loans and accepting those loans that you need to do by July 15th. Again, this is where you're going to want to start that habit of checking that email. July 31st, you know, that's when we usually hope to have the roommate and housing information out. You know, we're all aiming for that. And so of course, that's why we have that webinar coming up on July 19th to talk more about the residential experience. And you know, some more stuff is going to start rolling in slowly but surely, right? It's been pretty calm right now. It's going to start speeding up a little bit, right? Asking you to complete more stuff, kind of like you needed to do around June 1st, right? But again, remember, you're accessing everything again in that forms portal and seeing which forms you've completed and not completed. The other thing I wanted to tell you is last week we talked a little bit about this in case you missed it. In our Beginning the Journey shell, this information is going to be there about some things that you should do before you arrive to campus with your computer. Some of it's as simple as, hey, guess what? You get to download Microsoft Office for free, right? And so we're going to tell you to do that, right? We're going to tell you to install antivirus. We're going to see that number one, check your email, right? It's pretty funny. How many times have we told you that tonight? But last week, Jake really mentioned a great point, addressing the question, well, what kind of computer should I bring? Should it be a PC? Should it be a Mac? You can do both. We are open to both. We don't take sides, right? You know, I think the one thing we're going to say to you is if you have a Macintosh, you're going to want to download Microsoft Office though, right? To make sure that you have access to PowerPoint, Excel, Word, and all of that kind of stuff, right? And the other thing is too, like there's network connections all over the place. I am not an IT tech person, so I don't wired, wireless, all that stuff. The bottom line is we're online, wired, Wi-Fi all over the place, right? So you don't have to worry about that. Also want to just put a plug in for this reminder, no need for a printer. Plenty of places to print. Plenty of places to print in academic buildings. And you might be thinking, well, what if I want to print from my residence hall? No worries, there's printers there, right? So do not go out and buy a printer. Mom, dad, anybody, family, friend, you, whatever. No need for a printer, printing allotment taken care of. There is never a student that needs a printer. So that's my little IT services PSA right now. Last but not least, you know, around July 15th, July 31st, don't hold us to a specific date. You know, that housing information is going to come out. You know, and I love this line, don't make assumptions based on what you find out online, right? Like just hold on. All of that information is coming out. Our residential life offices do such a fantastic job of sending out information. I bet you by now you can figure out it's coming to your email, right? So you're going to want to see all of those newsletters from Res Life that are coming out. And of course, again, you know, we're going to tell you, make plans to connect with that roommate, who's going to bring what. We're going to be talking about all this stuff again come July 21st and August 2nd, right? So preparing for your new home and then that final checklist. So those are two fun webinars that you can look forward to. I would say in the meantime, oh, yep, Sharon, jump in.
You have July 21st, but it's July 19th.
It is, you know what, it is July 19th. So I'm going to go fix that typo before this PowerPoint actually gets loaded. So thank you for that. July 19th, right? So bottom line is this, we're going to give you a few weeks off, right, from webinars, right? But really we're giving you the time off so you can jump in starting next week after the holiday weekend and start that Beginning the Journey online orientation course through Canvas. Slick thing about this, everything that's going to be in that Canvas shell, it is not going to go away, right? So if you've got information in there is going to be housed there, there's announcements there, it's going to be your one-stop shop to find information. And I see that there's a question, what software did you suggest downloading? Oh, yes. So every student is actually going to get access to the Microsoft Office suite, right? So PowerPoint, Excel, Microsoft Word, all of that good stuff. So if you have a Mac, no need to panic, just go to the IT services website and you're going to be able to access and download your free copy. And this is actually one of the things we're going to be asking you to do in the Beginning the Journey shell, right? So you'll be able to get that information and a lot more other things. I know I haven't given the proper nod to all the gaming tech stuff. All of that's going to be in the beginning of the journey show. So I'm 2 minutes over. You all want to get outside because it's a gorgeous evening in Minnesota. I hope it's a gorgeous evening in New Jersey, Beth, or wherever you're joining us from. Bottom line is a fantastic liberal arts experience at St. Ben's and St. John's through the integrations curriculum. Fantastic opportunities outside the classroom and all the various programs that we just talked about. And what I hope that you are being able to see is that there are human faces so excited to see you in late August on that move-in day, Monday or Friday, August 26th. More information's coming about that. But again, for now, go enjoy your evening and just know we're getting really excited for you to be here. So thanks so much, everyone. Have a great evening.